Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Atlanta Falcons Today. It is mailbag time. You, the subscriber, have asked a plethora of mailbag questions. I pulled the best, 6, 7, 8, whatever the number is. We're going to jump into them. And I think there's some really good ones today you're going to go ahead and enjoy. Hectic Highlight says, is there a world where we trade up and get Hutchinson or Thibodeaux? There is a world. It's just going to cost you a lot. And I was looking in the past in terms of trying to find like an example of trading up to 1 or 2, because that's where you got to go to get Aiden Hutchinson or Thibodeaux. And what I got is that it's very expensive. So let's just go back to, how about 2017, or 2016, the Jared Goff trade, right? So the Rams come up with the Titans, the number 1 overall, to get Jared Goff. Now, the Rams were in the teens, and so of course Atlanta sitting at number 8 means that it won't be this expensive, but look what the haul was to go to number 1. It's a lot. 15 overall, 43 overall, 45 overall, and 76. That's a first, 2 seconds, and a third. And then they gave up another first, and then they gave up, what was it? Number 100 overall, which is, what is that, a third or fourth round draft pick? It's a lot to go ahead and move up. A ton to go ahead and move up. So, can you do it? Sure. But the problem is you got to figure out, one, where are Hutchinson and Thibodeaux going to go? Are they going to be 1 and 2 to the Jacksonville Jaguars and Detroit Lions? And 2, how much are you willing to go ahead and give up? I love Hutchinson. I think Thibodeaux is great. I would go ahead and draft these guys 100% if they're available, wherever the Falcons are picking, aka number 8 overall. But I just don't think it's worth spending that much draft capital to go ahead and move up when you have a lot more needs than just pass rusher. Plus, there are other defensive end options at number 8. Like Karlaftis out of Purdue, I think he's heavily underrated, maybe the 3rd best pass rusher in this draft. David Ojabo out of Michigan, I know that he didn't do very well in the national championship game, but he's still considered a top 15 overall pass rusher and top 15 overall pick. You got Drake Jackson out of USC, a later round draft pick there in the first round. There are a lot of options to go ahead and add, and so while yes, you can, there is a world. You could give up this year's first, throw in a second, throw in a fourth, and then probably throw in a next year's first as well, but I think you'd still get a really good pass rusher in Ojabo or Karlaftis at number 8 overall. That's what I would do if I was the Falcons. Now, pin comment during the ad break down below. What would you do? Would you trade up for Hutchinson or Thibodeaux? If you would trade up, type Y down below for yes. If you would not, then go ahead and type N down below for no. Next question here comes from Cameron Christie, who says, what are the best options at free agent from the offensive line? Good question. I was going to do a full video on this. I probably still will later on this, maybe this month, maybe next month, whatever it is. Here are your top 5, right? These are the most expensive. Can you afford them? Who knows? But here are your options. Orlando Brown, tackle. Brandon Sheriff, the guard. I like him a lot. Teron Armstead, tackle out of New Orleans. Again, expensive. How about Duane Brown, the tackle as well? There are a lot of tackles on this list. And finally, Laken Tomlinson, the guard out of the 49ers. Tomlinson, I think, can make a lot of sense. There are options, right? And these are the most expensive ones. There are a lot of cheaper ones as well. You can just Google free agent offensive lineman in 2022 and see. All of these would be upgrades, right? And I've talked about this in my plan to go ahead and fix the Falcons in the previous video, where I am all for signing free agent offensive linemen, whether it's signing a starter, signing a backup, signing a depth guy, signing a guy to compete with the current starters. It doesn't matter. You got to improve this offensive line, and these are the 5 best. Pick one, and you will not be disappointed. Now, is there a free agent offensive line you have in mind? Is there one from the list that I just showed you, or maybe one I didn't mention that you want the Falcons to go ahead and sign? Let me know who that is down below in the comment section right now. I'm thinking Laken Tomlinson. He's cheaper than Brandon Sheriff or Teron Armstead, but he plays that guard position, which is the Mayfield, was a big-time need for the Falcons. Now, here's a need for you. How about this double t-shirt combo that is on sale right now at our link at chatsports.com/Falcons shirts /. These are normally $49.99. They are literally 25% off if you use our link. Like right now, 25% off. You get a long sleeve. The red short sleeve with the ATL to me looks absolutely fantastic. We got this deal for you guys right now. Again, 25% off. Upgrade that Falcons gear in the offseason. It's much cheaper in the offseason than, of course, you just wear it during the season. This is still 25% off. chatsports.com/Falcons shirt /. Or just go down below in the description. You'll see the link. Click it. Get your size. Pick it up now and enjoy the discount. I don't want to say this name. Up Seabass YouTube, I think, says, what about drafting cornerback from LSU's Derek Stingley if he's there at number 8? Okay, I've thought about this because obviously I want a pass rusher at number 8, but I thought, what's the other position I would take at 8? Is it offensive line? Maybe, but Stingley is definitely an option there. He's the best corner in the draft by far, very much in the mold of the elite corners of the past. And actually, Mel Kiper, draft expert from ESPN, just dropped his latest mock draft, and look who he has the Falcons taking at number 8. Derek Stingley, right? Panthers take Charlie Cross, the offensive tackle. David Ojabo goes one before Atlanta to the Giants. I think Atlanta would like to get Ojabo at number 8. Then, of course, right there, 8, Derek Stingley out of LSU. The Broncos take Nakobe Dean. The Jets then take Drake Landon, which is a weird pick at number 10 overall, but this isn't a Jets channel, so move on from that. Listen, I love Stingley. I think Stingley would be a great addition opposite of A.J. Terrell, be one of the best young secondaries in the National Football League. The problem is that you really do need a pass rusher. And there are, to me, corner is one of those picks in the NFL draft that you can take round 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have a really good chance of getting a starter out of that list. Like, you don't have to get the best one in the draft in order to have success. You can have a very good corner later on in the draft. Pass rusher, a little bit different. The best ones are top heavy. The best ones are up there inside the top 10. If Ojabo or Karlaftis is there at 8, I would go with that instead of Stingley. But it'd be very hard to pass on Stingley knowing how great Terrell has been and pairing them together to create, talk about a secondary there in Atlanta. Now, regardless of what the Falcons do in the draft, obviously we'll cover it here. Like, if they're leaning towards Stingley, they're leaning towards Hutchinson, they're leaning towards trading up. Whatever they're going to do, we're going to cover it here in the channel. So what we do is try to give you guys quick, short, 10-minute videos which fully update you on the Falcons, and then you can move on because you're busy, right? You get a little lunch break here. You're trying to, take a quick break from the emails and just want to get the news, move on. That's what we do here on the channel. If you appreciate that kind of style, go down below and hit that red subscribe button. Let's get to 5K. Like, we're so close to 5K. Go down below, like the video, and give us a sub. All right, Krookie? I think that's his name. I guess it's got some hard names today. How would you grade the 2021 draft picks after the regular season? I'm going to do a video on this, actually. I had someone DM me on Twitter, and it might have been you. I forget who it was on Twitter, at Real Thomas Mott, asking this exact same question. I'm going to do a full video on this, maybe next week, but the grades are not great. Now, again, they're rookies, and so how many times you've seen in the past in the National Football League where a rookie is bad his rookie year, and then, year 2, 3, whatever it is, he pops and he's a future star. It happens all the time. So we can't fully know how good or bad the first Thomas Terry Fontenot draft was, but the only good pick last year was Pitts. Like, the only good draft pick was Kyle Pitts. Nobody else contributed. And Jalen Mayfield is number 2 on the list behind Pitts because he actually played and actually did something, but he didn't play well. It was like the worst offensive lineman out there, and at times Pro Football Focus's lowest graded offensive line in the National Football League. You got nothing from Richie Grant. You got nothing from Darren Hall. You got nothing from Frank Darby. These guys produced at, zero, basically zero. So the only good one was Pitts. He gets an A. Everybody else gets an F or a D, but if they, play well in year 2, then we're going to forget about year 1 and just be excited about year 2. So, room for improvement. I'm looking at you, Richie Grant. One more. What the heck? O'Brien Johnson, mailbag question. Do you think the Falcons can possibly sign Antonio Brown to a 1-year deal? No. So I get the thought process. You need wide receivers. We talked about it yesterday. The Falcons have no wide receivers under contract in 2022, and they're definitely going to trade Calvin Ridley. So you think Antonio Brown, cheap contract, veteran, would him and Matt Ryan be a good pairing? I think so. I think they would ball out. The problem is, though, is that Antonio Brown is just, sabotaged, really self-sabotaged everywhere he's went. Whether it's Pittsburgh, whether it's the Raiders, and then most recently with the most stable team in the National Football League led by Tom Brady, right? You'd think the Bucs would be the place he could figure things out, and yet it didn't work. Whether you believe Brown was at fault or not, which there's conflicting arguments. I've heard people say, Brown and the injury were real and the Bucs kind of screwed him over, or, Brown actually is just a clown and he couldn't play with Tom Brady. Whatever it is, it's just not worth it, right? You need a receiver, but just get one in the draft, get one in free agency. Hope you can hit on one in the future, but Antonio Brown, he's just not worth it. If he was worry-free or didn't have the last Bucs drama, I'd consider it because he'd be cheap, but you just can't. You just cannot do it at all. Would you guys ever consider going ahead and signing Antonio Brown? Would you ever consider signing him? If you would, let me know down below. I am out on that one. All right, ultimate for today on Atlanta Falcons News and Rumor Mailbag video. Of course, if you want to be a part of next week's Mailbag video, subscribe first, and then go down below, use the hashtag Falcons to get a question in, and if it's good enough, and hey, who knows, you might be pulled and thrown up here on a video. We do it every single Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, whichever day it is during the week. So down below, subscribe and help grow the channel. Ultimate for today on our Falcons Mailbag video. I'm Thomas Mott, signing off to the rest of your day.